What is up, everybody? We have
Yo,
the Vols
yo.
ATB crew back, but we are missing Drew this week, so he had something to come up, so he'll be on next time. But we have Brando and Alex joining me. It is Lo, your
Yo,
host.
yo.
Let's see. Tonight we're going to cover like a few different topics and just kind of go around the table, but I think we're going to start out with the Arkansas basketball loss. Um, Vols lost 58-48 on the road. I think it was they were trying to win at Arkansas for the first time in 2009. So, which they did not succeed. So that was kind of a really tough game. I didn't get to watch most of it because ESPN app was glitching for some reason. I caught like the last 10 minutes. So I guess we'll just start off with the guys giving their takes.
Yeah, that was after like the last like 9 or 10 so games in a row, that was like just like an ugly performance of kind of setting you back to reality. I feel like give credit to both teams' defenses. You know, you look at the number and you're like, dang, their offenses suck, but both teams' defenses came up to show. I feel like the hype is real with Arkansas's fan base and their home court advantage. Like that fan base, they showed up on a 3 o'clock tip after just beating Auburn. Like they're all bought in. I feel like that Arkansas team was bought in, and it's kind of hard to go in an environment like that and just win overall. But I feel like also too, the team didn't really help themselves when they could offensively. Like no down low presence at all to be found. Still not being able to find that. Uh, the shooting not being able to get going, just missing shots, kind of reminding you to that Texas Tech early in the season. It was just really bland and non-existent offense. But I mean, hey, you're going late. You got more games to look forward to. You just had to play Missouri and stuff. So kind of wanted to look past it, but still a tough loss.
Could y'all hear that video that was just playing?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. There was an ad. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, Brando, but yeah, I agree. I was looking at stats until some ads started playing, but I saw something that we shot in the 20s, I think, but like you said, it was pretty even both ways. Arkansas shot like 30%. We shot like I don't know, like 19% from three or 18, and then they shot like in the 20s. So it looks like we shot so poorly and should have never been in the game. But like you said, our defense showed up too, and so it was kind of back and forth with a defensive slugfest. Also, I hate to use the officiating as a scapegoat, but it just was not good. it was just poor, and that got a lot of our players into foul trouble. I think we had 3 starters at one point with 4 fouls late in the second half, so that took them out of the game, and they didn't get to play. It was Casey. Santee and Josiah, I believe. So that makes it tough not having those 3 people out there. Our highest scorer was Zakai with 12, but it's tough to appreciate that when it's on 2 of 8 shooting. So it was just ugly all around. But it's an acceptable loss. They're top 25, 21-6, 10-4 now. They have an equal record with us. We didn't lose any standing in our conference play. We dropped a seed, but in terms of losing that double bye, which I think is crucial, we didn't lose that. We're still top 4, and that's what's big. But we'll get to this in a minute. We responded well against Mizzou, so you can't complain too much. Like you said, Brando, Arkansas is real. They have a tough team. Like I said before, they match up with us really well. I think that is us in a different uniform, but you kind of expected that our hot streak would end, and I mean it's fine to lose one right now, but once we gear up for the tournament play, then we just know that we got to go. But it was ugly. There's no other if, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah, I was kind of really pissed off in the moment that I couldn't watch it because the context that I was seeing on Twitter about all this foul trouble, I was really wanting to watch that from the beginning. But I will say that, of course I looked up stats and kind of reviewed replays and stuff. And Ziegler, like you said, he was our top scorer. He put in 33 minutes off the bench, more than anyone else, any starter, more than Vescovi. I think he had 31 or 32. I think that's just great minutes for him, great minutes for his development. But you said it kind of takes away when you evaluate it. It's just like we weren't on our game. But 15 turnovers. We had 15 turnovers that turned into 13 points for Arkansas. That was huge. 24 team fouls. That's really bad. But the biggest part I saw was that even with all of that, they still had multiple chances to win in the end, and we just couldn't hit our shots. So I think they missed like 5 wide open shots in like the last 4 or 5 minutes. And I was just like, God, if they could hit those, but it just wasn't in the cards. Overall, you can't be that upset. I was honestly truly shocked that we had not beat them like in Arkansas since 2009. What a crazy stat. That's a long freaking time. I don't even know who our coach was at that point. So I don't know. I didn't expect that. And then when I read that, I was kind of like, okay, just come back next time. So, and they responded well for their next game. But I mean, did y'all truly think that those fouls were all deserved, or what were y'all's opinions on that?
It's really like really wishy-washy. I mean, I expected to go into Arkansas and be different than any kind of away game we've been used to lately, just because like that basketball arena, it's like I said, on fire, and it's built to play basketball in. They were loud. I feel like a lot of the emotion and like the fan interaction kind of had stuff to do with the calls. Like there was a lot of charges down low where I don't even know his name, but if I looked at him, I would know him. Like I will remember that guy. I kind of have a special hatred for that guy, for like their post player, just because he was just falling back left and right. And like, like before you'd even make contact, he'd already thrown his head back. And, there was like a picture where he was already ready to flop before we even ran up on him. So I feel like there was a lot of good calls that, maybe were like truly fouls, but then those calls that weren't fouls at all or even close, like they did make a difference for sure.
I was actually just about to touch on the charge thing because like, as a point guard who was obviously short and is still short, doesn't have the size to compare with big post players. Like those are things that you have to do to be effective when you're guarding players like that. And I'm all for the charge call, absolutely. But when you get to like 4 and 5 and 6, 7 charge calls in a game, you kind of think that the officiating crew is wanting that call, or they are looking for that call. And like you said, they were falling sometimes before we got there. There was one time I seen somebody take a charge from their hips. So they felt contact and fell from their hips because, like you were saying, their upper body's already falling. And I'm like, nobody can hit you in their hips and make you fall like that. Like that's absolutely just incorrect. So I didn't agree with it. I absolutely did not. But I do think it was kind of bad both ways. So that's why I don't want to just be like, all right, like we lost solely because of officiating. At the end of the day, we still have to put the ball in the hole, like you were saying, Low, and we just didn't do it. Somebody tweeted something funny that was like, we're the best team at missing some bunnies. And I was like, yeah, it happens. Like that's us. But overall, just I thought the officiating was poor across the board. But being the home team, when officiating's poor, you know that you will get calls that go in your favor. So Arkansas is tough. I mean, Arkansas is absolutely tough. They beat Auburn right before us at home, so you know that they were ready to get back in that gym and get rolling. So
for sure, one of our listeners, he said it was Jay Hooser, 1439. He said the charge calls affect our offensive play, seems to put us in a funk, and we second guess our shot selections and whether we drive to the basket or not. I think that's fully accurate. Also, it just, with our top guys being in foul trouble, Barnes really doesn't have a choice on what he can call, who he can put out there, whatever. But in my opinion, you should be able to come out off the bench and make some of those shots. So I would love to, by March, get some of those guys coming off the bench who are confident in their shots, so that we know that if we get into this type of situation again, that we won't have to make those conservative calls all the time, I guess I would say. Anything else you guys want to cover on that specific game?
Yeah. So I was gonna say, like, I don't know if Arkansas's like strategic thing after the first half was try to get our guys in foul trouble, but it did work. it does suck when that does happen, and you really don't know what to do with our kind of depth wise, because like you're not getting anything from Justin Powell, and then you have Victor Bailey, who just decided to finally wake up from his year-long coma. So like you wouldn't really kind of bank on just putting the guy out there. Like you're already banking on your bigs down low because you're not getting anything from Fulkerson. So much moving around. Like I like to see like guys getting a chance to like not, get some playing time and not be burnt out when they do have to be on there when March rolls around. But I really didn't expect to go in and win both games. Like when we played Kentucky and we blew them out, I didn't think that we were going to win like both games in the series. Like before going in, I was like, we're going to split this game. So I'm not mad that we lost, but I'm not kind of like offensively, like it's kind of a throwback to the beginning of the season. And I just want to, like, when we come around March, guard play is going to be key, but we got to find a down low presence to win boards and stay out of foul trouble when it counts.
I think if there's a silver lining to this game, it was that just one run was the thing that put us away. So it wasn't, and it came late. So it wasn't that we just played pitiful and like never had a chance and we're never in it. It was that at let's see, 6:24, 6:29, Arkansas had the score at 47-42, and then they bumped it up to 51 by 3:37. And that was enough to beat us just because we were in such an offensive funk. So we can be mad and wish we had this game. But like Brando said, I think as a reasonable fan, we weren't expecting to win out for the rest of the season. We were hot, absolutely. But I think one of the things to worry about is if you are on a big hot streak for a long time, because at some point that there is going to be a letdown game. And not even that this was let down. It was just that it was just a loss. And I think we just take that, move on. Clearly, we responded against Mizzou, and I hope what we saw then continues on. But I think it's acceptable overall.
I will say, I mean, it was just evident to me that they weren't supposed to win that game, but it wasn't like I was so disappointed. I thought it was a great learning experience because we haven't had our main guys in foul trouble, and damn sure haven't had 3 starters in foul trouble. So for them to be able to even keep it as close as it was and still have a chance at the end shows me that they were probably, I would assume they were nervous, obviously didn't go in expecting that, but they somehow found a way to let it not get out of control. I mean, obviously, like they could have gotten way out of control like Kentucky beat us at Kentucky. I mean, that was the ugliest thing I've ever seen, literally my least favorite game. So for them to be able to have other guys come in and at least hold their own and keep it super close in such a tough place to play, I would say that's all right. And like you said, I mean, they responded well against Mizzou, so I can't really complain much. Do you guys just want to dive on into the Missouri game?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think Brando mouthing, but I couldn't hear him.
Yeah.
I already knew what was up. So last night we played Mizzou, beat them 80-61, so pretty convincingly. Overall, a massive night for Chandler. A lot of people predicted that. We kind of put out a thing like who'd be the MVP, who'd be the top scorer, and Casey had 23 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, so definitely the MVP last night. Overall, I personally thought last night was a really balanced game. We had 24 points come from our bench, so I can't complain about that. Bailey, like you had mentioned earlier, Alex, he got some nice action. Highest score off the bench with 11 points. So I thought they played pretty well overall. What about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really, really, really happy with how they played. After like the first 4 minutes, it was kind of close, and then after that, I feel like we just kind of took advantage. Kennedy Chandler, 23 points, 9 of 10 inside the arc, 8 rebounds, 2 steals. Then you had Victor Bailey showing up. He had that 3 to start the game. Finally woke up. I feel like he was too like wide open not to take that 3. And then when it did fall, it kind of was like, okay, I can do this kind of thing. And then he went out there, had like 11 points, his second time only having double digits all year. So it was really good to see him. Really glad to see BHH and Adu down low becoming true rim protectors. I think we can all like finally say that Adu is our best rim protector down low, even as a true freshman. Like he's giving you more quality defensive plays against SEC caliber players. In my opinion, you're not going to see Euros go up there and try to meet him like you see I do go up there and meet the guys at the rim. So really, really good. Really, really happy to see I do getting out there after, you know, not seeing him at all during the season and kind of emerging as like this superstar. You know, if he can develop really well, I think Jonas Idu is going to be really, really special here. The only part I'm really not happy about is Justin Powell. He didn't log any minutes at all in this game. For some reason, he didn't show up. Victor Bailey, though, did show up. So I guess you get one, you lose one, get one. But overall, really happy. 50% from three. Only turned the ball over like 9 times. Really good performance. Probably gave the people of Missouri the best basketball they'll see for the rest of the year because their team is really just not that good.
I'm sorry, these dang ads. I just want to look at some stats on ESPN.com, and they just want to play ads every time I'm about to speak. So I'm sorry, Brando.
No, you're good.
But I also am going to give Brando credit for the Victor Bailey shout out. Lo said it was me, but let me pass that one time. But absolutely right. And I think, like you were saying, I think the reason we didn't see Justin Powell is because Victor Bailey was playing so well. So I'm gonna take that and kind of flip it a little bit to a positive, but because he started 5 for 6 and he had that 11. He missed 2 more after that, but that's not a big deal. Still shot over 50%. I truly cannot brag on Kennedy Chandler enough because he led us in points, he led us in rebounds, he led us in assists. He tied for the lead in block or at steals. Didn't get any blocks. That would have been icing on the cake, but he played 37 minutes, 37 out of 40. He recorded 1 foul, so he was playing really clean basketball, and 0 turnovers from a point guard who is playing 37 minutes. That is absolutely incredible. And it almost seemed like anytime this felt like a game of runs, and anytime Mizzou would try to get on one, it would be a Kennedy Chandler steal leading to a dunk or leading to a layup. It would be a Zakai fast break where he pulled up at the free throw line and nailed it. I truly couldn't have been more proud or happy with what I was seeing. I know it's Mizzou and I know they're not good, but you still always feel like Kwanzaa's going to have them boys ready to play us, if anybody. And the way that we would respond anytime they would start cutting to our lead is what encourages me most. And I think that's the things that you have to focus on when you're playing a game like this. But again, Idu's minutes were big. Seeing him get 3 blocks, filling in for Nkamwa is still huge. And the minutes that he gets, you can tell that he's improving every time he's on the floor. I feel like his potential's unlimited. And he did shoot 1 for 8. Again, he was kind of missing some of those bunnies at the rim. Seemed like he was going up a little bit soft, but you know what? I'm still going to give you the benefit of the doubt. You're still working through it. You're still working yourself into the rotation and stuff like that. Overall, super encouraged. Everybody played well, balanced effort. You can't complain.
I agree. I just feel like that was the game that we've wanted KC to have like all season. And what better time than like last night for him to have it. This is the time that we really want him peaking, about to go into SEC tournament, March Madness, all of these things. I think it's the perfect time for him to peak, and I can't complain about that. I love Idu's minutes. Is that how we're pronouncing it until we are corrected by the media?
Yeah. I've already heard people say Adu. I don't know, but
I like Idu. I don't know.
I know y'all saw the meme I put in the chat where it's like, you just lost to Jonas Idu, and it's the Chief Keef Sosa thing just blaring.
Oh my God!
Just wait 3 years low. They'll probably change the or how that's pronounced.
I know.
Worry, that's what we do.
That's why I chose two letters. I think we can go with that pretty all right.
Ja.
No, but I haven't heard him pronounce his name, so I guess it would be nice to know how he pronounces it because it is interesting. But I think he's putting in good minutes. I really like him out there a lot. Rebounds were huge last night. We had 40 total, 28 defensive. So that's an area that I love to see us improve in. I complained about that a shit ton in the beginning of the season. I was so pissed about rebounds, and what a turnaround. So I love that. Only 9 turnovers on the night, which isn't great against Mizzou. But then again, I mean, it's not 15 like in Arkansas. So that's a little bit better. some of my favorite, I guess my favorite plays was the 30 seconds when Huntley Hatfield snagged that rebound for a dunk, and then KC got that steal right after that and went down and dunked it
Yammed
right
it.
in the last 30 seconds. I was like, that was sick. I loved that. The other thing that I was shocked about was Euros with the bounce pass to KC. I was like, where the hell did that come from? I was shocked. I couldn't even believe that in a good way. So it's always nice to just have a few surprises in the game that you catch. I don't know. Did y'all have any favorite moments?
Yeah, pretty much that dunk that you highlighted when Kennedy Chandler just went there and yammed it. ESPN, they had the perfect like little thing, the SC Network, where it was the goal line cam, so you just saw him coming down and slamming it, going up in the air. So it was like a nice little picture. Really have no complaints about the guys and how they played. I feel like defensively, finding an identity down low is key in these next few games, and especially going into a game like Auburn where they have so much size down low and guys that are experienced and playing their best basketball and offensively. So, defense is going to be key there. The only complaint I do have is you got to get these guys to down low with and Huntley Hatfield to start making some more baskets. I feel like we can get some more points from those guys down low to contribute with their defensive play. Like this team just has another threat. We always obviously think guard play is going to be key in March, but if you can just, have for one game or a quarter or a couple possessions where he has a dunk or, finally gets aggressive and goes up there and plays to his size, and it can be different for this team.
I just want to say, if you're interested in sports betting, then you need to talk to me and Brando for our basketball games, because we are all over the actual scores. I got one of them right. I was off 6 with the 80. I said 74. What'd you say again, Brando?
I think I said it was 74-62, and it was like 75-60.
So I mean we're right there every time. So if anybody's interested and wants to know a safe bet, just ask us and we'll tell you what to do. But I mean I'm just going to go ahead and agree with that dunk that KC had, because it's so much fun to watch this man play, because he's 6'1" with a 6'7" wingspan. So when he takes off for a jump, you're like, okay, this is just going to be a layup. But then his arms just keep going and going, and then he dunks it hard as can be. And you're like, dang, bro, I didn't know he was going to elevate like that. I didn't know he's really going to go up like that. And anytime, you see him so disruptive in the passing lanes and stuff, because he's got those long arms, he's got big hands and stuff. But man, I hope I tweet this at least once a game, but I really hope that we as a fan base appreciate what he is and what he's doing for us, because point guards like that are so special. When they're putting NBA and NFL players on notice just by the way they play, you have to tune in and you have to watch that and appreciate that, because odds are he's not going to be here much longer. This team as a whole won't be here much longer. It'll just be the rest of this year, obviously. But man, it's impressive, and we just got to appreciate it while we have it.
I will say that's a great point, Alex. And honestly, we really are kind of clicking at the right time. I can look back, I would love to just go back to the first few games where I was complaining constantly. And I was bad on some of these. And then just look at how they are now. The ball movement and pace is improved so astronomically. I can't even put into words. It's starting to look like my favorite team with Schofield, Williams, Bone. They're not there, but in terms of team chemistry and knowing where each other is going to be for the most part, it's starting to shape up pretty nicely. And I think a lot of people are not really noticing that as much as they should. I think we're shaping up pretty well given what we have. We're number 4 in the country right now for forcing turnovers, and I really like that stat. I think our defense is playing great, and I just hope that we can continue to stay consistent. I don't know about this weekend, though. Honestly, I really have no idea. They're picking us to win. I have no idea. I'm just trying to go. So if anyone's watching who knows of any tickets that are not $300, please shoot me a DM, honestly.
at the Vols ATB.
Yeah, or at Vols
Slide
ATB.
in,
Yeah,
slide into our DMs.
yeah, not mine.
No. We want the tickets. We want the
Just
tickets.
sponsor us. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, no, we'll pay. I will definitely.
Oh yeah, I'll live tweet and all.
$100 a ticket for section 320, row 20. Not
Yeah,
happening.
seat 20.
Yeah, you sit in the Neyland Stadium to watch the game. You're still paying $400.
Oh man. I guess it is touching the Auburn thing. I'm kind of feeling confident because Auburn, they're playing a lot of hard basketball right now. They just kind of their last couple wins, they've been kind of getting away with them and playing late on teams that don't deserve it. Like they lost to Florida. I was watching that game right before I think we played Arkansas when they lost to Florida, and that just blew me away. I think rest is going to be key with it. I think us playing Missouri yesterday and not having another game until we play Auburn. We have a couple of days to rest, get back home, and get ready to play in a home environment where we haven't lost all year at TBA. And then you have Auburn, who has to play another game. They're going to already be on loose legs. They're not going to be able to get a walk through practice because you're not going to want to run on one day in between. And then you got to come into TBA, play in front of a sold out place that they haven't lost all year. And I just kind of see it being a fan environment. I know all the Bruce Pearl lovers will be there to see their former lover and be happy to see him. And I hope everyone's there to root for the Vols and, make it a hostile environment, not like Ole Miss. I don't want to see no throwing things, but, I want Bruce Pearl to hear it, to feel the Vols fan base and feel how TBA is rocking under Rick Barnes. And, it's time for people to see that we're better off, I feel like, under a coach like Barnes, and we were kind of under Pearl, just in my opinion. But
no, I think that's a great point because how many times was he the captain of environments like that? Pretty dang often, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I think there's nothing sweeter than providing that same environment for that same coach who comes in on the opposite side of it. Like he was like, dang, I tried to build this up and then like I played a part in building it up and now it's going against me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's good to recreate that environment for somebody. And especially in a huge game like this, it's a top 20 matchup, number 3 versus number 17. But again, I think it's a little bit too much to say that we have a 72% chance to win. That's what ESPN's BPI has given us. I'd probably push that back a little bit to about 60-40. I don't know if y'all agree with that.
I'll give it like 65.
Yeah.
65.
Maybe.
65. Maybe.
I'm about like 55. I think that our home court is really important, but honestly, why is ESPN riding our ass? They always hate us. Like, I don't understand that.
I don't get it.
They were talking like last night, like, oh, Tennessee's going to make like such a big run in March and all this shit. And I'm just like, where is this coming from? Honestly, where is it coming from?
But also at the same time, during the Missouri game, like 8 minutes in, they're like, Tennessee's on upset alert. And I'm
exactly.
like, are you kidding? Like, it can't be both. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that we're so good and then like say that we're about to lose because like we tipped the ball off. It's like, I don't know what you want us to do. Like, do you want us to play well? Do you want us to be bad? I don't know.
I think the reason they do it is maybe so that we can start tweeting at them live and then they can give a shit about it.
I mean, yeah, ever since we corrected the one dude on Vescovy's last name, and after 3 years of him playing at the University of Tennessee, it's been a shit show. Every announcer, I feel like, wants to throw something at Tennessee. We have a few that, that actually are on our side, though. That's kind of good to see in the SEC Network and ESPN, those two that do ride for Vol Nation. That one guy that I think he was talking about how he got crabs here. So I don't even know. It was awful. But, yeah, a dude on ESPN was talking about – yeah, literally on ESPN talking about how he got some stuff here. So
some stuff.
Dude,
Yeah.
you should choose better people to hang around. What do you think? I think that's
I mean, I think he's going to the wrong frat party.
Yeah, that's not on us. That's on him.
Where did that come from? I'm gonna have to look that up.
Oh no, it's true. I think it was I forgot. I don't know if it was the Vanderbilt game or what game it was. This dude was talking about how he got crabs or I don't know, something crazy. This at the University of Tennessee at a party, and they said that he said the next broadcast that he got a phone call from ESPN from his agent that he has to tone it down a little bit. But
I can't believe he said that. What?
Yeah, on live basketball, Tennessee basketball games. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That happened. How do we get from
The
Auburn to
ATB
crabs? I
pod
don't
where
know.
we talk about crabs.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm confident though. I think rest is going to be key. And after having a big win like that against Missouri, like obviously it's Missouri. They only had, I don't know if y'all saw the video of Missouri's full court when they were walking down and doing the introduction, but there wasn't even like 500 people in that arena by tip off. Like Cosno he's out the door after this season. Missouri basketball, athletics as a whole is on a downfall spiral. They had Drinkowitz and all that. So, just I don't know. It's just crazy. Missouri is just on a downfall. But I'm confident about Auburn. I think, the guys will come to play. Zakai, Kennedy. I think the guard play will be key. And I think that Justin Powell, if he does get minutes, he'll take this personal just like he does the Kentucky game. So I feel like you might see a different side out of him because of what happened at Auburn and how they set him out after his little injury last year. So
I will say, I don't want this to come off asshole-ish, but I just thought he would be better by this point. I thought we would get a lot more productivity out of him than we have so far. And I really just can't figure out why. I really can't figure out why. I don't know if y'all have any thoughts.
I think my thing is you've always heard Barnes complain about his defense in this system. And one thing we've all noticed and we've talked on Key is about how key the defense is for the offense, right? So when you're making those plays and getting those steals and the turnovers being fourth-ranked turnovers and having to be key on the ball, him being a specialist three-point shooter, like I feel like defensively he's not setting himself up to be like the best player he can be offensively, if that makes sense in any way to anyone. Like, you're not going out there and you're getting beat by these shooting guards that, are smaller than you or, they're not the skill as you, but, that ability is in him. Like, it's not like he's never played to that level. You saw him at Auburn shooting threes, lighting it up. Like, it's in the kid. Like, he can play that way. It's just, I think being a new system, if he could improve defensively, I would want to see how it would improve his down court and fast break game to be a better overall player than just a 3-point shot, because I feel like it's not setting him up to be the best player he can be with his 3-point shot.
Yeah, I think that I think the biggest thing with Barnes, like Brando's saying, is that he wants people to play defense and then play offense. So if you're not committed to that defensive end, it's going to be hard to find minutes in a Rick Barnes rotation. And also, like we saw in Mizzou and we kind of touched on earlier, is Barnes is really good at switching his rotations if whatever's out there is working. But he's also a very quick trigger to get you out of there if you do something dumb or if you do something that he doesn't like, he doesn't agree with, he will get you out of there. And it's frustrating at times on that side because it's like, hey, let him play through it. But then it's also really encouraging when you see a five that's out there that's hooping, that's going off, that he leaves out there. Sometimes they stay out there too long, they get gassed, and then it gets bad. But in the moment when somebody's hot or a team is hot and they're succeeding, they're on a run, you can't break it up. So I do wish that Justin Powell got some more minutes, and I wish he kind of was more solidified in the rotation. But we also have to think that if Victor Bailey still keeps giving us these minutes where he comes off the bench and gives us 6, 8, 11 quick points, we have to take that and we have to leave him out there because he does play hard on the defensive end. Does it always work out? No, he's a little bit undersized and people kind of take advantage of that some, but he's putting up points and he's in the offense, he's in the rotation, getting that good ball movement that Lowe's talking about that's so predicated on rhythm and timing and execution and stuff like that. So as long as that's working, I don't think you change it. But like you say, I do wish that Powell had more of a kind of a firm role and firm spot in the rotation.
That was excellent. You guys killed that. I was not expecting so much detail. Now that helped me out. No, I guess I expected more, but that does make sense. I mean, Barnes is definitely a more defensive guy. And also, it's almost like all I hear is, oh, Powell's the 3 guy. And then he comes in and, like, misses 2 threes, and then he comes out. It's like that's a little bit of too much pressure, in my opinion. Like, all right, you're a 3 guy. At this point, with the confidence that Ziegler plays with, I would just pick him as the damn 3 guy, honestly. I mean, if he's going to shoot with that much confidence, at this point, I'm like, screw it, because I feel like coming in off the bench and trying to be that 3 guy is kind of a little bit high expectations, but that's just me. Who knows? I mean, I'm not doubting his gameplay at all. That was something that's kind of sat on my brain the past few weeks, and I was curious. So you guys killed that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Anything else we want to talk about, like just strictly basketball wise, whether it be like this weekend or Mizzou or anything?
No, just I think it was a good win. Really set up the win and game for this next Saturday. I hope it's just like Kentucky was this past weekend. I think it's already sold out. So just kind of looking forward to that Saturday day. I'm off, so I'm gonna be able to enjoy the game. Really looking forward to it. Want to see them put Bruce Pearl in his place. Just want to see the guys click and get a big win before March and the SEC tournament rolls around. So pretty much just looking forward to that. Gonna enjoy some more basketball, some baseball, and get ready for the off season, you know.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and speak on what Los brought up a little bit a second ago with ZZ hitting some threes. I remember when we first kind of talked about our shooting when stuff got really bad. He was shooting probably like 30% early on, maybe even a little bit less. And I think somebody said in that last little stretch that we've had, he's shooting like 43 or something like that. So over the course of the last like 10 games, he's already upped his 3-point percentage on the season to 37. And also don't forget that we have Vescovi, who's like blistering hot right now, shooting 39%. Yeah, we're just peaking at the right time, and it's super encouraging. That's one thing I do think that helps us going into the Auburn game, because I think Auburn peaked early, or they might have just hit their midseason stride way before other people did, and now that other people are, they're having a tough time. So it's a good mix for us to win. But again, that's why you show up on Saturday, and that's why you play the game. But I like where we're at, and just ready to see what happens going forward.
100%. I'm excited. I'm honestly at this point, like, I want to buy tickets for a reasonable price, but at the same time, I want to go so bad. So I might just fork the money over. I don't know. We'll see. I want to go. I want to be there. You guys have got me all hyped up now. So
hit up low if you got tickets.
I mean, they were out there doing Oklahoma drills before the Kentucky game. I don't want to know what it's going to be like out there before the Auburn game. Like, they were out there 3 hours early. The environment's been crazy. So, just starting off slow, like to see how it's growing, and even not on the court, but like outside the court as a fan base, as we like all support, we always support the boys, but just seeing them come together in the late stretch and kind of accept this new identity as a team, like Tennessee basketball as a whole. We're so used to the past times and the last few runs, like last year during the COVID year. Like, it's an ongoing thing. This is just a new thing, and there's going to be more and more things. Like, Tennessee basketball as a whole is just on the sky rise, I feel like.
I did want to comment on that really quick, because that's an excellent point. Some of my patients and stuff at work were like, we've been to games for the past 20 years, and they had not seen an environment like that Kentucky game. Mm-hmm. It has to be that way on Saturday. There is no question about it. So anyone who's listening or going, like, just bring your A game. Just don't bring your mustard, or if you bring it, don't freaking throw it, because I'm not trying to get crucified by all of the media again.
Again.
Yeah, multiple times throughout the season.
Multiple times, over and over, forever. We'll win the Natty and in like 10 years, and they'll be like, but don't forget when they threw that damn mustard. That'll be the number one topic. But yeah, show up, be loud, and I'm excited. So without further ado, did you see that? Did you catch that?
Mm-hmm. Hey. Oh, wow. Okay. I do.
We're going to baseball. So I have been a horrible fan so far. Not really, because I've given away my tickets. But I did not make it to a game this weekend. And then yesterday was kind of weird. And then I didn't get off work in time today. So I haven't been the greatest, but I will be at a baseball game soon. But do you guys want to start off with what's happened so far?
Yeah, for sure. I'll go ahead and start it off. Yeah, just a quick go ahead. If you all want to ever win some baseball tickets, make sure to tune into Vols ATB on Twitter. We always throw giveaways when we don't go to games and stuff like that. So if you ever want to see Tony Vitello and the boys tune in, just drop a follow and enter in a giveaway, and it's as easy as that. But overall, I'm really happy with the start. I think we're like 4-0, 5-0 now, counting the Tennessee Tech game that got postponed yesterday from the rain. We were leading big in that game. Really just overall happy to see that they kind of – everyone was wondering, like, are they going to come back like they did last year as the baseball team that had such a historic season? And I kind of feel like with all the missing pieces, they're doing the best they can. Opening up and getting that sweep in the first series, playing Tennessee Tech yesterday. I've really been impressed with the pitching overall from Chase Burns, Sewell, Drew Beam, and all the guys that's been coming out. And they've been throwing heat, like even what's his name? They just freaking I have it in my notes.
Somebody touched 100 the other day. I
Yeah,
heard.
Ben Joyce.
Yeah.
He's a redshirt junior, and today he came in and pitched for 3 innings, and I think 8 out of his 9 pitches that he had in a row all touched 102 or above. Like, they're all coming out and throwing heat. So I think last year, in my opinion, our pitching was one of our worst things, and we had a lot of injuries coming into the year with like a lot of our starting rotation guys. So just seeing the pitching so far, even though it's not been like the greatest talent that we're playing against Georgia Southern, Tennessee Tech, and now UNC Asheville. I think it's been some really good pitching to kind of go ahead and get rolling. The bats have been hot. My personal favorite player is Ortega at second. That kid's a beast. You kind of saw a glimpse of him last year, but he's been making a bunch of like in the field plays. He's been hitting. The bat's been super hot. Batting super, super well. I think he has almost over 5 or 6 RBIs already in the first 4 games. So hitting super well. Drew Gilbert getting his grand slam already going for the season. Just super happy to see baseball and the boys back.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that I also don't know much about baseball. That
Cowards.
is not the sport of my forte. So Brando, you started and you also might be finishing it at the same time. I'll say this. So for the giveaway, on the opposite side of that, if you see us at a game, please come say hey. We want to talk and interact with whoever, all of our listeners. Even if you catch a show just once and you want to come say hey, you recognize us, please do. It is confirmed. Uncle Al will be at the first round of the SEC men's basketball tournament. I'm going to go Friday because I think that we've pretty much solidified that spot. So I'll be there experiencing some more warm weather. That'll be great. But, yeah, with baseball, it looks like our offense is hot. Started really hot against Georgia Southern, and our defense was also there too. We outscored them, 33-3 over a 3-game series.
Yeah, ridiculous.
2 of those being shutouts. You really can't be more happy or more impressed with a start to a season like that. I know Tech was giving us a little bit of our run for our money the other day. Rain delay intervened. We were 1 out away from getting a 5-4 win, 4 innings in.
Mm-hmm.
What is are they going to try to finish that, or are they just kind of leaving it and going?
They said they're going to try to finish it. Being a game like an exhibition kind of game like against Tennessee Tech. I don't know when that'll be or when they'll try to plug it in. I probably imagine like before they get into conference play, sometime whenever. But they're only down the road, so it shouldn't be too hard to do.
I was going to say, I know that baseball plays dang near every day with like maybe 2 or 3 days in between. So I didn't know if they was actually going to try that because, like you said, it's kind of a little exhibition non-conference game, and it's not really of greatest importance. But I think just being in the state of Tennessee, you always want to get those maybe like lower school games, and you want to play the Techs, the MTSUs, the Memphises. Yep, you heard it. Yeah, like I said, don't know a whole lot about baseball, so I'll deflect to Brando and Lowe. But looks like they're starting off well, and again, just want to see that success keep going.
Let me just say, if we're talking sports, like it goes football, basketball, baseball, for me, I do know Tony Vitello pretty well in terms of looks, not in terms of in person, but maybe that'll happen at some point. I didn't want to look like I wasn't paying attention to you guys because I was, but you guys mentioned the giveaways, and I was looking at the schedule because I'm going on a trip, and so I was trying to see if I was going to have more tickets to give away, and it looks like I am. So I'm not going to announce exactly yet, but we will at least have one more giveaway for baseball tickets, and it looks like it's a damn good game. So if you're listening, make sure you turn the tweet notifications on for the Vols ATB page so you don't miss out on that giveaway. But in terms of back to baseball, looked like a super good showing. I was really impressed. But like you said, the talent, I mean, we weren't playing anything crazy, but we've returned a good amount of guys from last year. And I just don't know why everyone, I mean, not everyone, but I saw a lot of negativity or uncertainty. And I think that we're super talented. I don't see any reason to be concerned. In terms of just spirit and tradition, I love the new fur coat in addition to the daddy hat. That is I freaking love that. Just keep it coming because I love stuff like that. I don't know. I was gonna ask you guys about the rules, but I guess we really don't know where they're gonna plug that game in. It was kind of weird altogether, but I don't really care. I mean, it's not like a big matchup or anything, really.
Yeah, I think who really knows? Hopefully, there's a week out there that we don't play a game, like a kind of rest week that they can just, if they want to get the bats hot and kind of stay loose, just kind of throw it in there and finish it up. Like I said, they're in like Cookville, so it's not too far away. Only like an hour, little trip. Pay for their trip, come and get it done. I'll be fine with it.
For sure. It can even just be like a random scrimmage. They're probably, I mean, I don't think they're too worried about redoing it, but I also don't like just ending a game on a weird note like that. I kind of like to make sure it's over. So that was just kind of an odd start to the season. But overall, it looks like baseball weather is going to be nice this weekend too. So I will be there this weekend.
Yeah.
I will be there this time.
There's the pitcher that played in the game yesterday against Tennessee Tech. He also pitched today. I can't think of his name off the top. But we have a pitcher on our baseball team that is blind in his left eye. I don't know if y'all heard about this story or not. But we have a pitcher on our team. I'm going to try to find his name. But he's blind in his left eye. And when he was younger, him and his dad were cutting grass. And the chipper came back and apparently smacked him right in the eye. So he's been like a baseball player his whole life. And played in Tennessee. And I'm going to try to find his name. But
is it Xander?
It might be
Xander Seacrest.
Yeah, he pitched one inning yesterday. I think he allowed the home runs yesterday. I don't know if it's Hollis Fanning or who it was. But yeah, I was hearing the story. I was listening to a Fan Run Radio today, and it was Dan Harrelson talking about how we have a pitcher that lost one of his eyes. I think he was the same pitcher that came in today and had like 3 or 4 strikeouts in a row and retired 3 or 4 people. So I just thought that was a really, really cool story. To have a pitcher like that, you're seeing like a lot of young true freshmen on the mound, and to have a story like that, it kind of just, it takes you out of the, you have so much fun with the baseballs and stuff, and then you think of a kid like that that's living his dream. So it's kind of a cool little thing I thought I'd share.
I love that. I had no idea, Brando. Honestly, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I freaking love that, and I love getting behind players. I love getting behind all our players, but when you hear something like that, it's even cooler.
Yeah, so. It's pretty dang cool. I was like, that's pretty crazy.
Especially when they produce, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a good story just to have, but also when they're out there putting up numbers, that's awesome. It just grows the legend. Same thing with Zakai. It helps boost their brand and gets their name out there and gets our whole fan base around them.
And Hendon Hooker.
Facts.
Yeah, he was not doing so hot before he came to Tennessee. I mean, he was hospitalized and everything, so he bounced back awesome too. I'd love to hear a good story like that. And I think our fan base, as crazy as they are, we love supporting people, and especially like you said, when they have a story that they came from like a rough childhood or they're defying all odds or whatever, and then they're giving their all for the university. God, I mean, there's nothing. We'll buy every merchandise. We'll do whatever, man. I love it. I love a success story. So. Well, let's see. I like I said, I've been terrible, but I will take better notes and be better about baseball since I will be there for the next games. But do you guys have anything else baseball-wise? Because I know Brando has some cool stuff to cover, non-specific to baseball.
No, just pretty much happy to see them getting on the right track, and I hope that they can, settle down a lot of people that did come into the year doubting them, because I think this team knows, and we all know that just by off the looks of it and knowing that the team and our guys, that this is easily a top 10 to 15 team, maybe not like a top 10 team in the country, but they're not, out of the top 25 like some networks have. I'm like, this is still a top team in the country, a top team in the SEC, and they're only getting started. So to get off hot, get those all true freshmen on the mound early, I feel like it's key, and just excited to see what we can do.
I'll give out something random and just say that we talked about this last show, I guess. Talked about, I think it was DR Vol when he came on the space. He was asking about what kind of renovations we would like to see, or like what other SEC stadiums are that you like or that are attractive. And I saw a video of Mississippi State's, and man,
it's beautiful.
That thing's incredible. I really thought I was looking at a pro stadium for a minute. Yeah. And if we got something like that with the combination of Vitello plus the combination of all of our other sports just doing super well right now, Rocky Top got to be the place you were looking if you are a top baseball prospect, with all those things included. Will that ever happen? I don't know. We've been disappointed plenty of times before, but I saw that, and I just wanted to make a comment on how incredible their stadium is and how much I would love to see us get. We don't even have to have that. If we get a fraction of that, that would be amazing. And I think that would do wonders for our baseball team and how we sell that to prospective players and stuff like that. But so I just want to throw that out. Just a little tidbit for you. That's my rant for the day, I believe. But yeah, with Vitello at the helm, I don't think we can ever count our boys out anymore now.
I like it, Alex. Like build it and they will come. Like they've always said, bring out that freaking checkbook. They've changed the season ticket holder stuff. You have to make a donation now every time. Your donation does not just count one sport to the next. You have to make separate donations. So they should be racking it in to make whatever renovations necessary. One thing that I do want to continue is that damn block party that they started last year. That was so fun.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't believe it. One, that I got tickets to Super Regionals, and then two, that there was this massive block party. I mean, there was like thousands of people there. Beer tents. I mean, the energy was so sick for baseball. I'm just like, I was totally digging it. So that 100% needs to stay, but only when they're doing really well or when it's a big game, because I don't want to celebrate mediocrity. So
facts. Yeah, I agree there.
Let's not get too crazy.
Yeah, it's too much already, in September through December, I don't want to do it March through whatever too. So
yeah.
But,
let's keep that going.
I guess just to touch it up and give be the bearing of good news. It was kind of released that with the baseball stadium, they were going to try to renovate it and build like a bigger stadium, like a whole new half of it. But with licensing and copywriting and stuff, it wasn't able to happen this season. So that's kind of why you saw the whole bleacher thing. But like talking with some Spire guys behind the scenes kind of thing. But after this year, they're kind of expecting to kind of raise that up and go from like 5,000 to like a 7,500 kind of level and build out on that side. So I think the stadium renovations is coming. You're arguably the worst, if not the worst, SEC baseball stadium in the conference. Like, maybe in the bottom 3 or 4. So it's a must, especially for a product that you're putting out like this, like a top 25 team. So hopefully they can get it done. Super excited about baseball, and they deserve all the renovations and stuff that the money they're getting. So
absolutely. Well, I'm just excited. I'm ready for baseball weather too. I really don't like sitting out in the cold. So hopefully that'll turn around soon and they will continue to do well. So Brando, do you have any other fun facts you want to share?
Okay, yeah, I guess so. Football wise, as we all know, we lost wide receiver coach Cody Burns to the New Orleans Saints in the National Football League. So Cody got a little promotion. We kept talking about on the show about how good it was that the staff was having some continuity and not losing anybody. And sure enough, in the second to last week of February, Cody Burns decides to go to the NFL. So, we're looking for a new wide receiver coach. There's been a couple names thrown out there that, have been shared that we can share. But, overall, I think I want to get y'all's takes on it, what y'all think we should look at in a wide receiver coach. A lot of people say, oh, just go with like what you have in Heupel, and the other coaches find someone that's going to develop the players. But, you also have those that say, hey, we have great coaches, but we need elite recruiters. So we need to make sure this guy can come in and recruit well. So I kind of wanted to see what y'all thought we should target and how y'all kind of feel about Cody Burns leaving.
So I guess for me to give like a super accurate answer, I would have to know more or less what Coach Burns did behind the scenes. Obviously, we know he's a wide receivers coach, so he does get credit for the development of not only Velas Jones, but Tillman. I think Tillman was one of our best success stories last year. And I got bored the other day and I watched all of a video on YouTube. That was every single touchdown we scored last season.
I watched that too.
And there was one. It just gets recommended for me, okay?
Yeah,
I can't help it.
Down bad.
But there was one touchdown. It was against Bowling Green, where flashback to the past. Joe Milton rolls out of the pocket and he throws one from about R45 and launches it up into single coverage with Tillman. And Tillman just jumps probably about 5-6 inches over this boy and just plucks it right over him. And I'm like, man, that's the stuff we have to have if we want to be successful. We have to have those guys that go up and get it. But back to the original thing, I'm always for recruiting. I think that once you get recruits in, you can only miss with so many high level recruits that you're going for. I think the gap between actuality and reality for the younger or the smaller stars or lower stars is greater. So I always tend to go for recruits because I think if they just get on our team at some point in some form or fashion, we can develop them. But again, like I said, I'd have to know how much he was on the recruiting scene. But you can't argue with the production that he had with Tillman and Velas. So I know this is like the perfect answer, I guess, but I would love a little bit of both. I know that's probably that might not be out there on the market. But also, I'll just throw this out. Refreshing to see that NFL teams want our coaches, that somebody else other than us wants our coaches because that means we're doing something right. I don't want to see them leave, but when the contract's there, when the money's there, you have to take that opportunity. So shout out to Coach Burns. Thanks for the time that we had you, and good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, Alex, I'm kind of with you, but I was just going to say this. One of our listeners said Burns seemed to do a great job of teaching the wide receivers how to separate. I fully agree with that. I mean,
yeah, 100%.
That was huge. That's an excellent comment there. So, but here's my take on it. And I know Heupel has only been here a year or so, but I'm going overboard and just say, give him whatever the hell he wants. I mean, honestly, I trust him to pick the right person. In terms of what I would want, I don't know. I just want someone who does their job. I'm not going to be too picky. And I feel like we've kind of been crazy as a fan base over the past little bit, like worrying so much about this or that or this or that. This is the first time in years that I felt like actually settled enough with our head coach to just trust in him to make the right decision. I mean, he's an offensive-minded guy. Therefore, I think he will pick the right guy for the job. Recruiting is always nice, but with all of these NIL deals and all of that, Inspire,
True.
I really don't see that as a huge factor. Obviously, it's some of the factor, but I don't see it as a massive factor because if we continue to produce and have the offense that Heupel is bringing, wide receivers are going to want to come here regardless. They're going to get the damn ball thrown to them constantly under this offense. So if I was a wide receiver, I'd want to come here. I mean, we broke records last year with Heupel's first year. That's going to continue. I'm fully 100% believer in that. So overall, I'm not really picky. I just trust Heupel to make the right choice.
Yeah, pretty much same. I'm really kind of looking forward to it. Any kind of coaching search.
Oh, he might be gone. He might have froze out.
Did he just like totally disappear?
I think he did because I'm just seeing a blank face on mine. Hey, I'll take over. I don't care. I had something to say.
Okay, yeah. Brandon's gone for now.
I was just going to say you raised a great point, Lo, that with this next hire, it's almost like I really haven't worried about it. I haven't stressed about it at all. Maybe my attention's other places. Obviously, it's in school, but I do feel comfortable with it. I truly do, because I think Heupel knows what he's working against, and kind of the scenario he's in. And also, he knows how his offense works. He knows it's predicated on mismatches and it's on timing, and all that kind of stuff. So he knows how important it is to – oh, there he goes. He's really out now.
I think I was just texting with him. You did a great job with recovery, but his laptop froze mid-sentence. So I think he's going to hop back on here in just a second. But go ahead and finish your thought, Alex.
Oh, yeah. I was just saying that I think Heupel knows, like you were saying, he knows how his offense works. He knows what he needs out of it, and he knows what he needs out of his coaches. So I think that he will make the correct hire. And also, we're not tied up in Pruitt stuff anymore. We're not tied up in our pocketbooks aren't there. So the offer to take Burns to the NFL might not have been large, but it was obviously larger than what we had. But now I think we have the opportunity to make some bigger contracts, and we can get maybe not the splashiest hire, but we can get somebody solid that I know who will work with Heupel, will work with the rest of the coaching staff, and just keep our offensive production up. So that's really all that matters.
100%. I don't know. I just went on a whole rant, and now that Brandon's gone, I'm like, oh my God. I think he'll be back soon, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of other topics until he comes back, but I don't want to stray too far away.
I don't either, because he had good stuff to say. I mean, he really had some stuff to add that we was excited about.
Oh, he can't. I don't think he can join back into our live.
Well,
so we might have to unfortunately cut it short.
Hey, I mean, we went an hour. We talked some good stuff. We brought up some good points, and
yep. Well, I don't think I know how to end this, because he was like the head person. So I don't know. Odd scenario, but I guess we'll just have to close out, and apologies for the technical difficulties, but I feel like we've had a good show, and this weekend, baseball, basketball, so make sure that you guys are tuning in and supporting the Vols.
I'll say one thing before we go, that we had the poll with Twitter Space versus the live video show. It was honestly just about dead even. So I just wanted to say, just stay on your toes. We'll announce where our show is going to be and what platform it'll be on. We do want to interchange between this video and the Twitter Spaces, because we do get a lot more fan interaction that way, and we can open up the mic to people. So just stay on your toes. And honestly, we do kind of random times now. We'll throw it on a random day of the week. We might wait a week. We might wait 2 weeks or something. But like you said earlier, Lo, keep your Twitter notifications on. We'll tweet about when our show is, what platform, and those giveaways. Got to stay tuned in on those giveaways.
Absolutely. That's a great point, Alex. I don't want it to seem like we aren't planning, but it kind of seems like our group is really excited and kind of more like fly by the seat of our pants type. So with that will come, of course, we'll do regular videos and sit down like this, and Drew will be back with us, but
and Brando.
random technical difficulty, but of course, like, we'll do these, but we love doing the spaces too, just because we get to hear from you guys and it keeps us on our toes. And so if, like, you guys are listening to our spaces, please do not hesitate to jump in, because honestly, it's so much fun when people get on there and give us.
Absolutely. We get some characters on there. It's fun to just hear somebody open their mic and just start dogging Pruitt, or talk about how he looks like a thumb. Or we had DR on there last week, and he called I gotta say this, I'm sorry. He called some Kentucky fans some Sudafed sluts, and I will not forget that. I'm so sorry, but I had to just bring that back up. That was funny.
God, that is funny. Yeah, so we love it. We're more of like a well-rounded thing now, so we love these, but we also love the spaces. So just stay tuned. This all started with football, so we were definitely more regular with football, and then just kind of continued to carry over. So, like we said, just stay tuned. But I think that's it.
Fine by me.
Oh,
Welcome back.
I just got hacked by Russia or some shit.
I know. Well, our background changed, so you really did.
Oh my god.
Hey, you just hit a buzzer beater too, because low is about 5.5 seconds away from
Really?
the feed.
I was about to close this out for real.
Oh yeah. Okay. Fucking. I guess I'll just go
He
right.
said, okay.
Cut
Okay,
off
let me get this one sentence in.
Oh yeah. Pretty much, I guess all I was gonna say is like Cody Burns did control a little bit on the field, with the wide receivers and stuff. Like he did have control of the wide receivers. Like mostly it's Heupel and Golish, so it's like not that big of a loss. I think development wise it can be a loss, but recruiting wise we can like definitely upgrade in my opinion. There's like a couple names out there that we could go after if y'all wanted to hear them. I know that they have said they're probably going to be in contact with is let's see. Fuck. I have it on my phone now. So, okay. We got Grant Hurd, who is the current wide receiver coach and co-offensive coordinator up there at IU right now. He was at Ole Miss back when I think Elijah Moore, A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, Van Jefferson, guys like that under the 1 or 2 years he was there under Hugh Freeze. So that would be a good name to go after. Really, really good guy recruiting-wise in Mississippi. The second one is the former Texas wide receiver coach, Anthony Tucker. I know they're probably going to be in contact with him. Recruited Xavier Worley, was part of, I think, Tom Herman's staff, and then Sarkisian came in. So he didn't get really added after the first year. So another really big name, really good recruiter in Texas. Obviously, Billy Gonzalez, he was at Florida with Dan Mullen, didn't retain under Napier. So a lot of these guys have connections with Heupel and them and former staffs at Illinois or Florida down at UCF and stuff like that. So I think we lean towards recruiting just because I feel like this offense you kind of play and fix yourself. Like the offense it does itself. Receivers play in space. It's kind of how it's designed. I feel like any wide receiver coach would want to come in here and kind of join this crew because now you have T. Martin and Cody Burns that both gone to the NFL and got NFL jobs. So really good marketable job. And I feel like I'm kind of excited as a coach searching junkie. As I was saying before I got really interrupted, I kind of enjoy the coach searches. So really excited to see who we get. Really key on seeing how they could recruit in the staff and hopefully get some good guys here. But I guess to wrap it up after that fucking mess, holy shit, that was awful.
Also, Brando, like, damn, you had such a good spiel going, and then you come back on, and it looks like we're supporting the fucking Eagles. I mean, why is it purple? I don't even know what's happening.
I pressed Hard Knocks UT banner. It doesn't work. I don't know.
Well, honestly, I mean, your content is great, and that does not change. So,
we try.
We tried. We are not supporting purple and white. We are orange and white. Not sure what happened there, but sometimes shit happens. Anything else?
Yeah, I just want to close it out with some transfer portal news. The Vols are still in on the linebacker from Louisiana, Lorenzo McCaskill. Really, really good linebacker there. He had 230 tackles, 4 sacks, forced fumble recovery. They're also in on MTSU, Quinton Riley, a safety. We all know we need safeties. He had 47 tackles, a sack, 7 picks, 13 pat downs during his last 2 seasons at MTSU. Really, really high up-and-coming DB in the portal. And then finally, UCLA Mitchell Adu. He's the edge rusher from UCLA. He had 2 seasons at UCLA, 78 tackles, 14 tackles for loss, 6 sacks. So really, really good talent. A lot of schools are after these guys, a lot of SEC schools and like high caliber guys. I know the UCLA guys like Miami and Tennessee. I think McCaskill's like USC and Tennessee. And I think Riley's just getting started. But
outside of the Louisiana guy, those other two guys are guys that are like ranked as like 3rd-round picks right now on draft boards going into next year. So if you can get guys like that and like 2 or 3 guys, like you can completely flip that defense. And I wouldn't be scared if I'm another SEC team that can see a Tennessee offense with a returning Hendon Hooker and Cedric Tillman playing against a defense that has valuable drafted talent. So just kind of good closing recruiting note to close out on. I don't know what the fuck happened, but
Hey, recovery for the ages.
yeah,
That was.
closing strong.
Well, this is my second time closing out, but this time I think it is finalized. So thank you guys for listening. This episode will be uploaded to Spotify and Apple Podcast or whatever that's called. You can also listen to the playback on our Vols ATB Twitter page. And we have baseball this weekend, basketball this weekend. So without further ado, again, go Vols.
Go Vols.
Good night and go Vols, baby.
See y'all Wednesday next week. Peace.